I have two arm shafts here, the left and right side. This is already hit with electrolyze, so all the rust is approximately gone. A little bit rust still on there, but I will not sandblast them. I will cure them with a converter. It's an epoxy Brunox converter. You have to just put a layer on and it will do the rest. It takes all the rust into nothing. It converted it, so it comes very black. This one already have done 2 layers, and this is the first layer. If it's bare metal, it's no problem because it's gonna be black. You see it's already turned into a black color, so it's doing its job, and it lays a layer on it so it will not rust again. So the rust is converted and there is no rust anymore. Between 2 layers I need to wait 6 hours, and after 2 layers, if it's hardened up, then you have to paint it. Okay, here we go. Next in line we are going to assemble the axle shafts. I have seen a lot of people has asked about those plates, but with an early gearbox of 30 horsepower you can take out this rod. It's not possible. You see? You have to open up the gearbox and the differential to get the axle out, otherwise it cannot be done. If you want to renew the plates in here, you have to disassemble everything, otherwise it can be done. First of all, I will put the threads in. I have cleaned them up. All the ones that are not good, they are out, but I didn't have one. So I will close them up with a little bit of Omnivit again, a little bit on the threads. But first I put the nuts on. Oh, there he goes. That's a flying thread. So put the 2 nuts on. Give them a little twitch like that. Put a little bit Omnivit on the threads there. Just like this. Not too much, just enough. You can bring it a little bit down with the tip, like that. And all the rest will be in the hole. Okay, first Okay, next for the following, it takes a little bit of measurement. So when I opened up the gearbox, there was just one between it, gasket between it. So keep it, because you have to measure it. Take a good spot that is not as cracked or has been damaged by taking it off. You press it a little bit. Now if you see, it's 0.3. So it's in millimeters here, so 0.3. And if you buy a new kit for your gearbox, you got several gaskets for the gearbox. So they're real thin pieces, a few thicker pieces, and then the thickest pieces. I will start with the 0.3 millimeters because this car had not a lot of mileage kilometers, so I will start with the thickest one. First I'm going to measure it because I need to be at 0.3. And this is, if you can see it good, 0.3. So I start first with this one. Just watch out that you don't wrap it or crack it. There's just one way to put it up. Now, if it's dry, it's normal, it will be rubbing. So I put a little bit of grease on it to make sure that the surface is smooth. Just a little bit, not much. Then we take our shaft and we do the same with this. Grease it up. So this piece will be greased, and this piece too. So we put the shaft over the axle. Now we're going to fit over it. We take a nut. We're just going to press it down with a little snug so it sits in place. Then I can feel if the play is enough or not. It will not be do that, it just will do that. A little bit, but not much. Because the end is held by the suspension axle, so it will stay in place. It's more like an up and down movement. Just one. Now I'm going to take a key like this. That's a very easy one because you turn this and you turn it down. And remember, this is only a gasket with 0.3 millimeters. Don't know how much that is in the terms of America. So we snug it a little bit. that's a little bit too hard, so it keeps staying there in one place. The other side is good, but I can try to turn it 180. So it's the rest, this is okay, but not this. I guess it's a little bit bent. Maybe. Oh, it was not snug. Okay, I will loosen up. There's something wrong here. It's not normal that one place just holds. Now I have to put it 0.3 back in. Did a little bit of grinding because there was one point at one place that keeps rubbing, so I pulled a little bit off, and now it sits very good. I don't have play anymore, and it goes very smoothly, and that's what we want. Okay, we got the measurements right. The play is good for the moment, so I will use OmniFit to the gasket. A little bit, not much. It will be a very fine layer. Now the gasket. And again some OmniFit. Last strokes. And we're done. I'm gonna put on the axle shaft now. One. Now we're going to take some OmniFit to do that on the wires, so we seal that also. Now we're gonna snug the nuts. try it. That's good. Now tightening up. Now we're good. No play. And that's fantastic. Boots. Yeah. We have several types of boots. Cheap ones, the expensive ones. So I have seen a lot of boots that are just not mounted very good. I've seen a lot like this, a lot like that, to the back, to the front, I mean, and underneath it. Also, the upperwear is a good montation, but this goes up and down. This will give stress to this piece. In this case, there is no stress, but if you pull up, all the oil will sit here and it will leak. Same deal at the front. If you brake, all the oil goes to the front and it will leak. Underneath it, no explanation needed, the oil sits here and it will leak. But why not like that? Again, here there will a lot more stress because it will not bend. So what we do is, at a 54 angle, you put it like this. So if you go up and down, the stress will be here, there, but now here. Stress, it will bend a lot easier because the stress is out. It's a sideways. So let's get the bolts and fix this. These are just the cheaper bolts, only one washer. I just put them in to show you guys, but I will probably take some inox ones. And you don't have to fasten them big time because you don't want any stress here, and it stays in the same spot. You can use nuts with Teflon, but normally it will hold there because the pressure of the rubber will keep the bolts in place and the nuts. But I will use others. These are the cheap ones. And that 55 angle must be to the nose, not to the rear. A lot of people will say, yeah, but they have leaking boots or they have cracks in it, and that's because there's too much stress, or they didn't put it the right way on. Only one to go. Last one. Now getting this over the flange like that. Okay. Open up this one. These are all also cheap ones. I will buy some good ones. Make sure that if you close it down, it will stay behind that little ridge there. You can feel it if it says on place. Just snug it, don't go over the top because it will break. A little one. Pushing it over it. That's fixed. Now, as you see, the bend is here. This can bend also freely, and the stress is away. So this will bend a little bit, yes, but that's how you place them right.